You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin, you're here to slay her. If While I appreciate the mental exercise, nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's, and before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job. I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well. Don't linger on the specifics. You have Are you serious? Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in then each, so sure, go, talk to her. See how you make your way up the short path. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and the blade is your implement. You take the blade from the table. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air, her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it fool you. It's all.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. She's so coldly beautiful. Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? about you drop the knife and the two—
Look how reasonable she's being. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a... You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are
You step forward. Your grip...
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon— So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. You're so close. Don't give up. No, this is a good idea. Maybe we can...
Oh, threatened, are we? You poor thing. Drop the... Then I'm not talking to you. I guess we are.
For the love of everything, or drop the blade. Do something.
Yeah, I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually... The blade tumbles out.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just...
Against your better judgment, you step forward to... We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Don't just tell her that.
That's cute. Do you believe that? If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so... dangerous? Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to...
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here, whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world. But they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you, either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any of... But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word...
She's right about one thing.
Like I said, it's all about trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable...
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything. Or...
Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really. don't jump to any weird conclusion.
You can't. Don't.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a... Well, we can always put that knife...
Her sharp eyes. She isn't suggesting she is.
Oh? Have you decided what...
You know what... That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us, and if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. I know you think this is a fair compromise, but it's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work if we just stay here and keep...
You're making a mistake.
You turn your back to the prince.
It won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to...
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? Either way, she dropped her mask, didn't she? You'll be the death of all of us, but fine. Have it your way. You close the basement door, locking it back. Okay. You settle in again. It isn't long before you start to drift off. Your eye...
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself? And it's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways.
She sounds terrifying. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by... You don't know the kind of enemy you've made to me.
It doesn't sound like she's... No.
These aren't threats. These are promises. Sooner or later, you're going to have to sleep. And I'll make sure...
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of...
It is
so helpless.
She steps closer.
Or me.
Your lungs stop.
I'd say...
I'm sorry. Everything goes dark. You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her. A terrible sense of deja vu. No, if he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Shh. That's a very good... Shit. I think you'll find yourselves very hard-pressed to keep any secrets from me. Not... We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you... Those are two very different... Let's say for a moment, if you're back, we couldn't trust all we did was... And how'd that... No comment. Well then, and your solution is to send us back in there. Do you want us to slay the prince? Obviously, I want you to slay her. Anyways, I believe your other question was something along the lines of, what do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. Speak for yourself. And that's only scratching the surface. If what you said is true, it begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind it? Do you think the people there lived if she brought an end to everything? I want you to... Just be quick. She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, people locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail, if you want us to stand a chance against her, we need not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take... He isn't telling us everything he knows because he doesn't trust us, which means that we stop talking. No, you should do anything but that. We know. Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but you can't just goad us into doing something by calling us special. I don't know, I kinda like being special. Okay, fine, maybe you can goad him into doing something. I'm not goading you into doing anything. You already know, and for what it's worth, we don't. You saw what happened to us. Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because... Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole... A warning. She will lie. She will cheat. I don't think lying and cheating is a thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least, she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away. It doesn't matter. Don't... The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the wall. The blade is your... Hold on. What? It's just an empty... She's already got out, hasn't she? And she's ready. I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves... So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your time... You reach down and pick the blade. Good. Is it gonna be enough, though? The blade is the only thing you need to finish your task. Those are the words of someone who... You're right. I was so stuck on the eyes. What are you two talking about? There isn't a mirror. There's a table. There's death. There isn't. We have to look at it. Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? You walk up to the wall next to the empty... It's really... You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous... Did he make it go away? Clearly there was something in there worth investigating if he wants it hidden so bad. Very different. He changed it, didn't he? Calm down. Maybe the three of you just think everything is different because you haven't been here. So focus. You cross over the threshold. More eyes. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh, her cruel...
I didn't think you'd come back.
Okay, we need a game plan. Last time we were here, just being close... Finally, a voice of, you know why I'm being... I'm just asking questions. You make your way to the bottom of this. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks, suspended in nothingness. She could be anywhere, and there's... Are you really not going to comment on how weird this... No, I'm not. We're going to tight... Please stop saying...
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter, because either way you go... I'm going to find you.
You turn to the left, faintly out.
There you are.
As the princess approaches, your arms quick. This is it.
And you brought your little knife.
There has to be... What did you do?
I wonder how many times I'll get to play.
Your vision sounded hard. Your lungs pull in a desk. What are you doing? I'm working. And then experience. Okay, whatever you were doing. Are you sure about that? You have second. Yes, I'm sure. Hard. Again, Your eyes shoot open.
Can't decide what you want to do. Oh well. Standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if
She isn't attacking. The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Your weapon is still in your hand.
Lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver.
I tried to leave while you suffocated, but that stupid cabin wouldn't let me. So I started to drag your body out with me and then...
Lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs.
Well, you died before I could get to the door. And then I was here, and now you're here. I don't think I can leave without you. And dead doesn't count. And as much as I love what we have going on...
Nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
Your will concentrates into a single thing. She doesn't even... We did it. We...
You actually went for it! Oh, you're go-
We've already seen how she can change.
You're not getting those stairs back. I'll see you when you finally decide to die.
She falls to the ground. Oh. I can stop now. I can. And now that she's gone, but she was the one who controlled this place, wasn't it? It means that you're stuck. Oh, no. Time. Forever's gonna... No, it won't. I feel sick. It doesn't... What do you mean? We still have a... Are you suggesting we kill ourselves? Well, that's a terrible idea. You've already... Because right now, you're right. But if we've already saved the world, I just do. I value life. Why? What do you mean, why? Exactly. Ah, yes. The whole looping. I don't like the way you said that. You knew. Of course I did. Though I'd rather hoped I was the first one. Oh, you plenty. But it's all in your best interest. And she's dead and we're stuck in a hell void forever. How could it just can? Look, this world is saved, but if you start over, for all you know, you're just putting another world in danger. You barely managed to land the killing blow here. What? I've already... No. Still no. You're not going to wear me down. Oh, we should ask him one more time. He's on the cusp. I'm not. Either way, at least... The narrator ignore. You can't just describe... I can. The narrator continues. Oh, you could do a lot better. Exactly. You'll be fine here. Just... That's a grim thought, isn't it? But I suppose you're right. You are a creature of biology. We don't have to starve to death. You have our... I'm stuck here with you. At least we're all being... Unlike you, I'm not capable... Oh, sure you are. Give it some time without... More time passes. More time. More time. More time. You remove the blade from the... More time passes. More time. More time. More time. More time. Oh no, what are you... You tighten your grip and fling the blade. You mean... Right, I mean... You wait. The only things you know for certain are that we really shouldn't have tossed the blade. No, you really shouldn't have. But don't muck it up next time. The princess may be slain. You're on a path in the wood. Shit. This really doesn't end, does it? It doesn't matter if we... Yes. No, there has... What if we do what she asked us to last time? What if we... Okay. So, you've already been here. more than once. Then let me remind you how catastrophic it would be if you helped her leave in any way. Oh, threatening us with death, are we? All death has done is shunt us back to these woods where we're for... This place feels a bit different though, doesn't it? I don't even know. That's all the more reason to take this seriously. If the path isn't the same, it means that her influence is spreading. I really shouldn't have said that. It'll make your task more difficult. But now it's out, you could always take that information. Those little voices have already drawn attention to the fact that even the know that there is always a choice. Even if you were stuck in an infinite loop, there's no reason to assume that the mere nature of the infinite would force you to make any specific choice. Everyone is manipulating us, but we're starting to see the threads now. I'm begging you, don't do this. You're going to damn everything to oblivion. Yet here we are, walking away. There's got to be a crack in this world somewhere. If he... Ugh, fine. You walk down the path away from the cat.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? Everything... What's going on? Where are we? I don't know. It's finally happened, hasn't it? We finally cracked.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. We're not going to go through with this, right? Ignore him. The interior of the cabin is almost a blade, is your... You take the blade from the table. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase. Her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it fool you. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes. She's so cold. Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
You step forward, your grip.
Oh? No talking then? fine. I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that night... So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out...
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way.
Oh, this is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But do you actually believe this?
It's like she's convinced she can't die.
Yes. Even as she lay, but it's over, isn't it? But is it over? It's over. We should make sure. I really don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, why do I feel like we've done something? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, but that day isn't... You open the cabin door, ready... Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. What? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. I'm so glad you're... This is what's best for everyone. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's day... Psst. Hey. Are we really happy? Good, because I haven't eyed the blade. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. Do you hear that? Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to... Don't you dare... What a relief. I suppose we've got all the more happy time. Please shake yourself. The little voice. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like... The door to the basement creaks open. revealing a stair. Her voice.
Hello? Is someone there?
Is hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once. Don't let it fool you. It's all part. Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She's beautiful. I am begging you to...
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these... Okay. Oh.
She pauses, carefully
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if...
Like I said, you can call me Prince. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've...
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a...
You have all the explanation you need. You should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen. Okay, but actually... Thank you. You turn back to the...
Where are you going? You'd better hope for your own sake that I don't slip these...
Slip these chains? She has to be bluffing, but I'd hurry. You rush up to the... Okay. If we're sure about this decision, I'll support... You slowly creep down the basement stairs. Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only... Is it just me? Your eyes dart to the corners of the room. Where is she? You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the...
I can wait.
You step into the shadows. Too late, you hear the quiet patter of feet against the basement floor, followed by the taut pull and sharp pain of tearing flesh as the princess lunges into you from behind and drags you to the floor. Her ferocity overwhelms you, and as the princess rends flesh from bone, your limp fingers loop. I'm afraid you shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her. A warning. She will lie. She will cheat. Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse? I don't see why that matters. She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously. Maybe. The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has... The blade is... You take the blade from the table. You walk up to the... What are you talking about? You reach forward and rub your hand against... But there was a mirror, and now it's gone. The door to the basement. The air she grabs.
I can smell.
She sounds almost impatient. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth. The jungle is pressing in on us. Hide. You see only a flash of the princess before she's... Remember, she is... You're not. It doesn't matter what she is. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, Fleck. I'm so much more than you. And a little splinter clutched in...
A shiver rushes up. The air's shifting. A direction on instinct. As you land, in an instant she's pounced on the spot where you would have been, her chains rattling across the floor behind her. Before you can blink, she's gone, vanishing once more.
You're faster than you were before, but you're still meek.
You whirl around to find her, and your gaze meets. So she's cut off our escape. Oh, for the love of... You've given up the game.
So many useless thoughts run through your head. And you bear your weakness.
She's coiling for another strike. We're on the back foot. The back foot keeps us nimble. Keeps us alive. It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive if it eventually kills us. We need to take back... barely moving out of the way before the princess surges past you with a speed that makes her practically unseen. You have to. We at least have to...
If you want to see me, you should...
She knows that her strength lies in shadows and secrets. She won't... A tickling sensation rise. Flee! We can't... You're a little slower this time. Or maybe she's a little faster. You avoid her slavering jaws, but she manages to graze you. Her titanic... It's like being sideswiped by sandpaper. How is...
You're bleeding now.
You instinctively touch your side, testing her claim. A costly mistake. We will make it again unless we need more time. She's cutting off our escape.
Our game is...
She's right. That's fair.
You cannot reason your way out of this, fledgling. There's no compromise with what...
At least she's upfront about... She's more tense this time. The mere thought of... We're exhausted. We're still alive. This isn't going to work. Exactly. If we don't do so, the princess lunges at you from the shadow, but your injured side stretches and tears as you move. And you find yourself slowed. The princess, Moore's unhinged and dripping, eyes fierce and full of... Guess that. Unfortunately for you, no. You are in a dark and caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible to grip. Your hand, the liquid pooling beneath you...
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the...
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining her chains.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here? Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer if you still have that steel claw? Tear through her before we... Or we could use it to make this quick for ourselves. If she needs us in... That is a...
I acted on my will, fledgling, and you acted on yours.
Your body is violently jostled, the disruption causing burning skin to slop from raw mud.
The cage is...
I don't think we can talk our way out of it. We are drowning. Though you have little room to move,
I can feel you tearing through me, but are you...
The pulling returns to bang you as the princess desperately throws everything at the cage.
You can't hold me.
You slice again, deeper, rooting through her meat with the tip of your blade, until at last it finds her beating heart. But will can never truly exceed the limits of the flesh. Your vision finally begins to blur, your eyes clouding over as they melt in their sockets. What little air remains in this rancid stew of flesh and slippery organs is finally too foul.
His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in a...
No, that's all wrong. You're not a part. That's not... I think that's bad. That's very... Let's get our facts straight. What?
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his... He tries to stare with wide pupils.
Shut up. The rest of you, talk. What happened? What did you do? Can she hear us?
I can hear everything, little one. But you don't have to be afraid of me.
That's just because she devoured us and we dissolved away. We don't even... We're still here, though. And if we're... She ate you. And now you're convinced that you're stuck.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together. We're one. This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
I guess that's it then.
We can't go back to that. We can't go back to the fear and the hunger and the pain. Not after being something as beautiful as this.
Doesn't all that conflict feel so far away right now? So petty? We've been posed against each other by something that...
I can feel a thumping, like a distant terror that keeps getting louder the more we pay attention.
Please, stop.
Don't look at it!
Please, don't make us...
And just like that, I can remember it now. I've forgotten how much it burned. You remember that you are a distinct being with a finite form and a mortal body. You can... I don't like this.
No, I devoured you. I won. I put.
Some divisions, when sown, can never truly be mended. A cavernous gash rips across whatever it was you thought you. A cabin comes into being among the trees, and then you find yourself blade in hand. Exactly. At the center of it all is the princess, a wooden and fleshy heart beating with an unbroken rhythm.
I feel empty. Don't.
We're just like her. I feel safe. She isn't dangerous.
Do we have to do? You have to. Little bastard. If you think I'm going to let you free her, you have... And that other thing, you'll just have to wait and ignore him.
His words only confuse.
You're tired. No, I'm not. Cut the princess down from the roots that bind her. I hope you're happy.
I think we are happy, actually. We might...
I didn't think you would do that. After it's so...
She's gone. And there's that mirror. He is. It hasn't ended. Figures the world. There's something dreadful that... I don't want to... I'm begging you. Don't. It's different now. It feels... I don't know.
Something returns to the long quiet. You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Vague recollections, empty tunnels with... I am solitary lights in an empty city. Thoughts without connections. I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow. I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. I promise that it doesn't. How can the world have ended if we are I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I know only that they are. She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. Does it? Yes. Nerves and fibers to feel. This one is like a shadow of me. A memory of what she used to be. Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace. Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget. Bring me more perspectives so that I may be whole. And you ask of things that cannot be done. How can I know? I have not lived everything until we meet again. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
You're on a path. You're here to slay. I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birth. Don't linger on the specific. Look, you're already on the path that leads. While I appreciate, nevertheless, let me assure you, the prince, and before you decide to waste causality, it's no use arguing semantics unless, of course. Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything. Oh, if only that were the case. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far. But unfortunately, like I said, I don't make the rule. Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilist. Yes, but you'll have to slay. It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. Are you serious? Good. As long as you remain focused on your goal, it should you make your way up. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slave. Ignore him. He doesn't. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The blade is your... The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase. Her voice.
Hello?
Is hypnotized. Don't let it fool you. It's all part... How many times do I have to tell you how...
Wait, really? You're here to rescue? Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with... She's beautiful. I am begging you...
Hi. I can't... I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of... You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you.
You're making a... No. You're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the prince. They're large and heavy.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down...
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion, if we were stuck down here, you attempt to make your way out of the basement, with the door at the top of the stairs. Your shouts and pleas. I'll repeat myself once again. You try the door. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down.
There's a slight panic, right?
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her as she rips her flesh from her bone. A sound comes from... It's the blade from upstairs. You know, or we could use it to free. You won't like what... Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound. You cut into her. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort. Her limb falls. She didn't so much... No. She smiles softly as her... How is she still smiling after everything?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too... As the princess approach... Wait, this... Watch me.
What are you...
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't...
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, but the princess dodges. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you... The blade! Move. As your body remains frozen in...
We both know this...
She nervously reaches towards you.
I'm sorry.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew.
Oh no!
Stay strong. We can tough... For her sake. Don't you start pretending that dying... Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not. Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse. It can't just end like... Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have... Everything goes dark. And you... You're on a path. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. My tricks? If he doesn't remember what happened... Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a... A warning. Before you... She will lie. She will... I think we've already been over this. I do. But I also speak from the heart. Sure, yeah, your passions are... Don't pay their bickering any mind. The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries. A prison the blade is your You walk up to the wall. What are you talking about? You reach for... And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off. The door to the basement creaks open, revealed, but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her. A soft voice.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow... I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just... You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. My love! We're here to rescue your... You know she can't. She may not be able to hear my... Oh, your spirit's plenty loud.
It's you, my dashing...
Did you hear that? She said we're... And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the... Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe... That's right, villain. Well, only because he made us try and kill her. It was so... And you've died before. So an entire world... We damned a whole world. Nothing resets. You're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping... Rescue her? What are you talking about? Did you forget that she's a world-ending monstrosity? And even if you wanted to unleash her onto the world, despite the complete... Don't you see how dainty her hands are? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip. If her hand could just slip out of the chains, because we've... I'm not sure. Would you rather believe me? A passionate heart guided by love and... I think I'd rather... Ah, so one of us has... Then let me show you a brand new truth. No, I can't let you do that. If you take... Your what? Take over our body and force... I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depth. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings, and... You approach the princess and gingerly... I can't believe it. I told you. There's no life more...
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps. If only you had a weapon. One slip of the wrist and your pristine blade. Luckily for Mr. Rome. Who needs a weapon when we have the...
What do we do now? That sounds perfect.
The princess takes your hand. We have each other. We don't... I like to think that you... Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made. I will mope about it, because moping is the only... You and the princess walk up the stairs, and what happens after we walk up? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to...
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not...
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairness... Enough with this true love. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than... Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the... I'm just along for the ride.
Well, I don't know. Do you think...
Of course she can. Nobody...
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers. And... The lock clicks, and the door... I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way to the blade. That's right, there's still a chance for you to do the right thing. You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can. You know, if her walking out that door is really going to end the... That's not. Yes, what he said. That's not how...
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you...
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, and then you step outside. A happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do?
Where did everything go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was...
I'm cold. Is being...
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess. She's gone. And is that a... What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful... Do it, then. End us.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. Whenever you are ready, I will... Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I... Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets. Eyes close and reflect. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be. And I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have, but in this moment, I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words. Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now. The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them you are a gate. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. I would be alone and without sensation. My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the way. If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. You will have your rest in. Then we will remain here as we are now. There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being. Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose. I will long for your return, but it will give me time. We will meet again.
You're on a path in the woods. You raise the blade.
I'm sorry.
She's gone. And there's that. Right. Let's just feel like. He is. It hasn't ended. Figures the world. There's something. That thing. I don't want to. I'm begging you.
Vague recollections, empty time. I am solitary lights. Thoughts without connections. I think that you are like we are ocean. Yes, nerves, and this one is like a shadow of me. A memory of what she used to be, bound to the wound. Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace. I'm sorry. There are some changes. She. Nothing, as we are, but there is no exit. Bring me more She asks that I tell you to You won't.
You're on You're here to slay. You devious little...